what I think you're talking about is right, is the fact that I was raped at 6. Yes. That happened when I was a child. Growing up, it was tough. It was tough, especially when you have friends and then like everyone's talking, I'm a virgin. You don't even know what that is. Like, what are you talking about? Going through something that you shouldn't have. Because I remember after that, we had to move from that area because I became the kid, that Kolaboni who whatever. But I was not. I was raped. And I should have been the one people should have sympathized with me. People should have, but instead they were pointing fingers at me and, so we had to move out.
Are you seeking for help, assistance?
I think there was a time that I confronted my mom about it because my mom wasn't around when it happened and she never talked about it. She's never asked me about it. She's never, so I was just asking her, is it that you knew and you didn't say anything? And she was like, girl, I had no idea.
Can I say that the confidence level builds from when you went to Miss Malaika?
100%. I feel like if I hadn't gone to Malaika, I probably wouldn't have had the guts to do a lot of things that I did. If I hadn't gone for Malaika, I would not. I mean, I knew I wanted to do content creation, but the guts to do it came from Malaika for sure.
Welcome. My name is Jenny, and this is the Jenny Lifestyle Lounge. You guys are amazing, and the growth keeps it's massive. Just like we pledge always, we'll do our best to bring you your favorite people you want to see here on this platform. Today with me, we are chatting Samira, a lady who is known for her budget-friendly lifestyle and her unique appearance when it comes to fashion. And her way and approach to life is so beautiful. She's here to share her insight on her journey. Blues from the 80s. Hi, Samira. Hi, Femi. You're looking so beautiful.
Thank you. You too. You look so gorgeous.
Thank you. You're welcome. So just like we do here, we just have friendly conversations and it's relaxing manner. So you don't have to worry. I got you. The conversation is so calm.
I'm a bit nervous right
Please
now.
calm down for me.
Thank you.
Going to be super friendly.
Thank you.
I hope you're ready.
I am.
Okay. So to start with, can you share with me the overview of the content you create? I mean, what you do on YouTube?
Just like you mentioned, my name is Samir, if you don't know for the first time. Hi. I'm a lifestyle content creator. I'm a lifestyle fashion content creator. Basically, I just love everything fashion. So I just do my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know you come from the northern region parts of Ghana, but then you moved across other regions. How has the transition been before you finally moved to Accra?
It was pretty interesting, to be honest. So I was born in the Volta region. Most people don't know. They know, I don't know. So I was born in the Volta region because my dad's mom is an Ewe. You guys, this is complicated. Okay, so bear with me. You have to follow me on this journey.
Sure.
But basically, I was born in the Volta region, but I think along the line we had to move to the northern region. I lived with my dad for a bit. And then even in the northern region, I moved around a lot. I lived in Tamale, I moved to Kambaga, I was just all over the place.
Wow.
And then eventually I moved to Bongahapu region.
Okay.
Where I lived there for a couple of years. I went to senior high school in Bongahapu. And then I finally settled in Accra. I feel like Accra is Accra. Once I'm in Accra, I just know this is the place. But all this while, my mom had always been here. So moving and transitioning to Accra was pretty easy for me.
Okay.
It was I just came for vacation and I never went back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. You moved from Gambaga, you went to the Bongahapu before you finally settled in Accra. How has living in Accra shaped your life?
Oh, this one, I'm actually very scared of saying it because I feel like I might get cancelled. But living in Accra is just a total different ball game. Okay. I remember when I first moved to Accra, for someone like me who had grown up in Tamale and everything.
Okay.
It was Bongahafu that shocked me first. Back in Bongahafu, you'd see a parent arguing with their child and the child is shouting and insulting them. And I'm like, hey, what is happening? Because where I come from, you dare not. Okay. And it was just little things like that. But I feel like it definitely made me someone who wanted to do more, someone who wanted me to do, I wanted to do better and more after I left the north. Because sometimes when you're in the same environment, you don't even realize how you blend in easily. You just, sometimes it takes you moving out to actually move up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, actually.
And I feel like I had to move out to move up. Yeah.
With all these places you have been, I'm sure there's one favorite that you would love. I mean, you actually love. Which one would you recommend?
To be honest, I recommend all the places I've been. Because I feel like, if I'm being honest, like my favorite place, I've not gone there yet. But also, that's like, if I'm being serious, I think everywhere I've been has had its own.
Talk of the culture and the tradition.
Everywhere I've been, like if I say the north, you'll be like, you're being biased. It makes sense, okay? But everywhere I've been has had its own zhuzh, it has had its own charm. So if you're coming to Ghana, just go to all the places. Babe. Don't just stay in Accra, go to the north, go to Volta region, like explore everywhere.
Interesting. So then how many languages can you speak then?
So I have to count them. I have to go as we. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, by the way. It's just that so in the north, right? We have different languages like Akan and Fanti. So we have Dabomba, we have Nanumba, and we have Mampusi.
Okay.
I can speak all three. And then I speak Ewe, but I'm not fluent because my grandmother is Ewe. I speak Gonja. Wala, I understand, but I don't speak. I speak Chi. I think that's it. I speak Hausa, sorry.
Okay.
What else? For now, I think I speak 8. Let's say 7.
That's like a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how many I can speak in all these. You're doing well.
Yeah, local languages.
So going into the languages then, how was it when you were growing up? Because for you to even get to, that stage when you feel you are now about to learn different languages, being in different environments and all that, how was it? Was it difficult to learn those things?
So I think I've been very lucky when it comes to those. So Akan, for instance, when I was much younger, we lived in like a compound house at a point. And there was some Akans in the house, but I didn't learn it from them until I went to Bonga Hafo. Like I knew I had a fair idea. I remember in my first year in SHS, I was just bawling my eyes out because they would usually make fun of me because I couldn't speak it properly. But I think it came naturally. I just pick it up as I go.
But do you think it has in any way shaped your communication skills?
100%.
With confidence and everything?
100%. If you don't speak, like I can't speak Ga, okay? And I blame myself. I should have learned it. I should have taken it more seriously when I was living in Osu. But when I was living in Osu, like there were times that I was just frustrated because someone is like talking about you, but like you don't understand it. So there's nothing you can do about it. And I also feel like when you can speak the language, it makes it easy for you to blend and connect with people easily.
Is that why you pursued in communication? Let me say that.
Maybe. I just think I think I was just meant to be in social media, content, whatever. I think I was just meant to be in that space.
You love to express yourself.
I do.
Okay.
When I'm alone with the camera, yes.
Okay. I know you were born into Islam, but then you converted into Christianity. Yeah. How did that all happen?
It just happened. That's the truth. I moved around a lot, like I said, which meant I also lived with so many different people, Christians, Muslims, people who did not believe in anything at all. And while you are, as a child who was growing up and like trying to figure out what life had to offer, I just had to look through everything and pick out what I felt was in line with my heart. Islam, my dad is no more. May he so rest in peace.
So sorry.
I feel like if he was alive, I probably would have been forced to learn Islam. But I didn't go to like proper Islamic school. And I always found myself struggling with praying. And I'm wondering, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Don't get me wrong. Islam is a beautiful religion. My mom still prays. Some of my family members are still Muslims. But I struggle with it. And the struggle I had with it, I just couldn't deal. Like I felt like I was a fraud each time I was praying. So in the end, I didn't seek for the easier option. I seek for the option that I could understand or relate to. Okay. That's how come I ended up.
Right. So it wasn't passion or something that you wanted. You just felt like because you couldn't do certain things right.
Yes,
Islam,
I think
so.
Yes, sorry to cut you off. But I think it was just that. And then also like, like you go to Christian schools, like most of them are like also Christian. Like I went to a lot of Christian schools. I went to Central International School. That's like Central University. They have university number. Back then in the north, it was Central International. And it's a Christian school. You wake up in the morning, you have to do praise and worship and all those things. So like those kind of like also form you in a way, molds you in a way,
So in a way, you adapted to what society presented to you.
You could say that. I mean, it's half-half, but at the same time, it wasn't just that. I didn't just wake up one day and then, because like, it was like this, right? I didn't even become a proper Christian until like a year or 2 or 3 ago.
Okay.
I just used to say that, oh, I'm not a Muslim or a Christian or whatever, but I became like a full-blown Christian only after I understood my faith and I knew that, okay, there's a God here that I want to worship and this is how I want to do it. Okay, so I don't know. I think God just had his own plan and this is how I ended up.
Sure. I know definitely there are going to be people coming after you. I mean, you're going to face criticism, like a lot of it, especially from the Islamic background. For you to go through that transition to be a Christian, did you face anything like that?
Funny enough, no, I did not. See, I feel like my parents are like so amazing. I can't even begin to tell you how amazing. Like my aunties would like make fun of me and say, hey, now they are called Abna and all those things, that kind of thing. Right. But like, it was never like, you have to be a Christian. Like my family is more chill. My mom has had her own faith. I think at a point in her life too, she became a Christian and went back to Islam. And I feel like, I don't know, my family is just generally very chill. They're very understanding when it comes to these things. So I think they were more understanding than I thought they would be.
Okay. That's great. I mean, parents who support us like this are what we want because it gets us to be better. So thank you, Samira's parents.
Thank you.
Anyway, you went to Miss Malaika, Miss Ghana. Okay. Yes. How did that all come in? Should we still take it back to the communication, the confidence, or
no?
You just wanted to give it a try?
So here's the thing, right? If you live in Ghana, if you live in Ghana, you're slim,
Okay.
As soon as you go, everyone's saying, "Oh, yes, so come to Ghana." Sorry, but it's like it's always been there. I was just a very skinny child that got told a lot that I had to do modeling and all those things. But I remember growing up, I had so many scars because I had like a lot of accidents that just would not let me,
So sorry.
Not sure. Okay. But that I had, because of those scars, I could never like do proper modeling because like there were times that I would go to like a casting and they'd be like, oh yeah, so fine, by your feet. I'm like, okay, thank you, whatever. So I knew that I wanted to join a pageant at some point. I just never had the guts. I never had the thing. Miss Malaika was just, even in GIG, like there was a pageant that I wanted to join so bad, but I didn't have the vim.
Can I say that the confidence level builds from when you went to Miss Malaika?
100%. 100%. I feel like if I hadn't gone to Malaika, I probably wouldn't have had the guts to do a lot of things that I did. Malaika was one of the most, I don't want to say tolerant, but they were more open to accepting everyone. So I felt more comfortable to go to Malaika, and then God being great and the amazing people that were there, I got accepted and everything. And if I hadn't gone for Malaika, like I would not, I mean, I knew I wanted to do content creation, but the guts to do it came from Malaika for sure.
Okay. What were some of the challenges you went through being there?
Malaika? Oh my God. It was, for me personally, it was just too much. I've always been I've always been in my own bubble, and going to Malaika, meeting new people, trying to make friends as you go. Because unfortunately, while people were trying to win the trophy, I was trying to make friends, I was like just too emotional for it. And I don't think I was as prepared as I should have been. So that was like definitely my challenge. Apart from that, I think it was.
Have you, aside Malaika, any other beauty pageant you've been on?
Actually, no.
Okay. So to anybody that wants to go into Malaika, what would you tell the person? Build confidence before they go. How do they manage through the challenges and all that?
Truth is that you learn as you go. Okay. Everyone experiences things differently. See, I had my own issues before I go into Malaika, and that did not help. Okay. And also, I just want to say that when you go to Malaika, fine, you might meet friends. Okay. But do not concentrate on making friends. Concentrate on winning the award. Because I feel like one of the things that let me down was the fact that I totally deviated from the reason why I was there. And that like kind of set me back. Focus on why you are there. You're there to win a crown. Focus and get the crown and be out.
So do you think losing focus or self-doubts was a reason to why you didn't get to the because you were just there for friends?
100. It wasn't just for friends, 100%. I think it was more self-doubt and lack of focus. Because at the point in time, right, the people pleaser in me was now focused on the fact that, oh, maybe the organizer doesn't like me.
Okay.
And then each time the organizer probably called someone else to perform instead of me, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I knew it. She doesn't like me. Like I was so into my head that I failed to see what was in front of me. And then also with regards to friends, like for instance, like I was telling people that, oh my God, like listen, me, my family voted like 1,000 cities this week, you know, that kind of thing. I would tell people because me, I've always been that kind of person. And then people would say, oh, really? And then they'll go and vote like 3,000 because obviously it's a competition to them, right? But I did not know that. I just thought, oh, they're my friends. Let me tell them how it's going. So you have to be tactical. You have to be very, very wise.
And I know when it comes to these beauty pageant things, there are lots of unethical things people talk about related to beauty pageants. That's not even limited to Miss Malaika.
With regards, I've heard stories from outside, but with Malaika, I cannot, like, I wish I could say something, but I don't have any experience when it comes to that.
Okay.
My time, personally, no one ever approached me for anything. I didn't have to do anything unethical. So I can't
not
take
even
a show.
as in with you personally. I just want us to make it broad. Those unethical behaviors, people normally tag people who go into this pageant. You see, the way she's doing, talk of the skinny part of it. Everybody feels like you're using that part of your body to sexualize, to attract men and all that.
I think it's like, it's 2024. Like, if you still think that he's,
Grow up, people.
Like, get a life. Get a life. Seriously. I feel like it's 2024 and we should not be thinking backwards. Like a beauty pageant is what it is. It's a beauty pageant. You go, you speak eloquently, you learn from it. Okay. I know some parents do not want their kids or whatever to do these things because they feel like they're like a lot of, trust me. Okay. It will build your child up. The experiences you get from these pageants, I don't know of all the pageants. Malaika definitely builds our confidence. When you come out, because if you don't win, yes, it does crushes you a bit. But eventually you pick up the pieces and move on.
Right.
You know?
Right. So let's put the beauty pageants and every other thing aside.
Okay.
I want us to now get into something personal and a bit sensitive. Just like I said from the beginning, it's very relaxing. So I'm not going to get you on any high, you know. So,
okay.
Again, can I ask if you're ready for this part?
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Okay. So you openly said on national TV about...
national TV?
Yes.
Okay.
I stand to be corrected though. So
I mean, you have to say it first so that I can check on to receive it.
Okay. With regards to the Miss Malaika thing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it on your social media too, on the incidents regarding the rape issue.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Did I say to Malaika as well? I have like whatever. Sometimes I tend to forget some things, but did I say to Malaika as well?
Reason I said I stand to be corrected. So you
Maybe
tell
it's
me.
possible. It's possible that I did. I just want to know. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So is it okay for us to touch on it though?
Yeah, I think. I mean, at this point, it's public knowledge.
Okay. Okay. So I want you to tell us how it all started from any angle you want to pick it from, however you want to start.
Okay. Now, first of all, disclaimer. Okay, I laugh a lot when I'm talking. Especially when it's something sensitive, I tend to laugh a lot. So this is not to trigger anyone. So basically, if what I think you're talking about is right, is the fact that I was raped at 6, right? Yes. That happened when I was a child. So my parents separated when I was very young. And I had to stay with my dad because he just would not let my mom take me.
Okay.
And my dad, for the longest time, my dad was like my closest friend. And back then, you know, men are men, you know, like that kind of thing. Back then, he had I think he had a girlfriend, but most of the time he still had to like go and do his own thing. And then he would I think at the time we were living in like a rented house, but it was like separated from the landlord's house. So the landlord's house was probably like behind us. So back then he would literally just give one of the guys in the house, like he'll tell him to help me read my books and all those things. And it was just like that. The guy was supposed to help me read my books, and one thing led to the other, and you know, that happened.
Was it just like it just happened, or it was something that
I think it was a build up. To be honest with you, right? I don't remember a lot of the incidents that led to that. And I remember that very day specifically. And I remember the crying and like every other thing that followed. I remember those ones. You know, it's just the other details that I don't know. Like I cannot pinpoint. Lately, when you're 6, like you're more aware. But I feel like back then 6 was not like I was not that aware. And I feel like sometimes I can actually vividly remember it because it was a painful incident.
How was that feeling like going through that emotions and all?
I don't know. I still think I haven't dealt with it completely. It's been so many years, and you think that talking about it will like help you deal with it, but I don't think so. But sometimes when I see like a post on social media about the child getting defiled or whatever, I lose my things. I lose everything. Okay, and growing up, it was tough. It was tough, especially when you have friends and then like everyone's talking, I'm a virgin. You don't even know what that is. Like, what are you talking about? You know. And also, it was just little things that just made me feel like I was not normal. It made me feel like I was not, like I did, you know, back then. I mean, now things are much calmer. Back then, it was like everything was frowned upon. People would make you feel like, oh, these shits, whatever. People would make you feel like, you know, for going through something that you shouldn't have. Because I remember after that, we had to move from that area because I became the kid, that Kolaboni who whatever, you know, but I was not. I was raped, and I should have been the one people should have sympathized with me. People should have, but instead they were pointing fingers at me, and you know, so we had to move out.
So to talk of that means it was out there.
Yes, it was a thing. Like, I mean, it happened.
Was it something you told people out there, or something that couldn't stay just with family?
I feel like when it happened, it was a huge thing. I think first of all, when it happened, right? I think. Wait, did someone catch him doing it? That's what because I remember he ran away for a very long time. Okay, so I think someone caught him in the act. Something, it was something like that. And I'm sorry if, like, I mean, like I said, I was 6. Okay, I have not dealt with it fully till date. I remember the details, some of the whatever, but some of them too are very blurry. I think someone definitely caught him or something.
Okay.
And then because of that, I remember he ran away from the house like for a very long time, and eventually they made it like let's settle it and whatever. But yeah, that's basically it.
So I don't know how I feel about it, but aftermath, what was the thoughts that was going on in your mind? Did you at a point feel suicidal, regrets?
At the time, I was too young to process it. Like 6-year-old, what do you know about it? You just know that everybody's worried. You feel pain there, like, and you know that everybody's worried about
But
you.
until people started coming at you and your family, and you had to move,
they came up. My dad was a no-nonsense person, so obviously they couldn't come at him. They could come at the child and point at fingers and say things, but they could never whatever. And also, I like these things, you don't actually process them until like you're much older and things are like, you're like, no, this is not normal, like, you know, that kind of thing.
So how does it feel now?
Now, it happened. You know, the sad thing about life is that you can't dwell on what has happened. Like sometimes you just have to be like, okay, it happened. Okay, how am I going to solve it? Okay, how am I going to move past it? I feel like there are certain things that happened in my life that was as a result of that, but I'm not that child anymore. Okay, I cannot sit in that situation and keep wondering what could have happened, even though I did that a lot. But now, I mean, I'm just trying to heal the day at a time, I guess. Therapy and everything that I can do.
I almost asked about help.
Yeah.
So are you seeking for help, assistance?
I have in the past. So
and did it help?
Let me say this, right? I said this once, but I'm saying it again.
Sure.
My therapist actually ran away from me after a few sessions because it was like, girl, this is too much. I have had, well, now at the moment, I'm not doing therapy.
Okay.
Because the last therapist I contacted, like I was telling her that, oh, this is how I feel. I want this. And she was like, no, you don't feel like that. I'm like, okay. And then I was telling her that I had a feeling that I had ADHD because of certain things. So I was telling her that, oh, I think I have ADHD, blah, blah, blah. And then I was expecting her to ask me, why do you think that, blah, blah, blah. Instead, she was telling me that, no, you don't have the ADHD, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, listen, I've actually checked, like I've gone to the hospital. basically, she was just like telling, like, she was just like rubbishing my.
Was it a professional therapist?
She was a professional therapist.
So what did she think? Like, because of your age, so you don't.
She was a professional, and she was just like all over the place. I'm like, you know what? I cannot. Like, I already feel like that with friends and family. I cannot pay you to also make me feel, So I had to bounce. So I'm actually looking for a therapist right now, but we're healing. It's a forever thing.
Gonna get better.
Yeah.
So initially, what was the fear and shame process like? Was there any time fear gripped you or a moment you felt ashamed of what had happened?
100%. There were a lot of times that I felt ashamed. Like, when people tell you that you're at fault, like, you start to think that you're actually at fault. It's like, who's gonna, like, fine? I mean, maybe they caught him in or whatever, but like, you're probably like, we are collaborating to now call her in the first place, They're bad, they're a spoiled child, whatever. So the shame goes to the victim first before the one or two, sorry to say, sensible people start blaming the whoever
was involved in the issue. So let's go to who was your first support you could run to when the incident happened? Your dad?
My dad. My auntie was there at the moment. His sister, she was there too, but it was my dad, my sister, my dad, my auntie, and my dad. It was just them. Those moments until therapy came in at you. I mean, growing up, what could your dad do to help? Was it a moving out because people were coming at you? Yeah, we moved out. Back then, like, me, I'm a 90s baby, so back then there was nothing like therapy. Like, it was nothing like. I want to know the support that came from your dad. There was no. Sit you down and talk to you. Now that I know, like, I think if my dad was like whatever, he would definitely have put in his therapy and all this. But back then there was nothing like that. Like, therapy for who? What is that? That's you saying that maybe his daughter is mad and he knows his daughter is not. So I never got therapy. They didn't, like, no one knew what therapy was. So I never got therapy until, like, I got to a point in my life. I'm just like, yeah, well, this is not normal. We need to seek help. Okay. And I think there was a time that I confronted my mom about it. Because my mom wasn't around when it happened. And she never, like, talked about it. She's never asked me about it. She's never. So I was just like asking her, like, is it that you knew and, like, you didn't say anything? And she was like, girl, I had no idea. Still talk of your support system. I mean, the network, being a friends, family, therapy, everything as a whole. How has the healing process been like with these people being involved? I mean, it's still not easy. I always tell people that therapy, for instance, before it gets better, it gets 100% like very rough before it gets better. And I feel like with my therapy, it was like I went to therapy. Apparently I had forgotten a lot of things that had happened to me in the past. Like, I had buried them. And then while I was in therapy, like, they dug them out, memories. And it was like, I was like, for months, I could not sleep. I was a messy time in my life. But, there's healing and there's hope in knowing that, it gets better. I'm not alone, and, it wasn't my fault. Because sometimes it's the regrets that eat you up. It's the fact that you feel like, maybe if I had done this, but, like, the truth is, there's nothing you could have done. Whoever the person is was just an evil person. Yeah. It has nothing to do with you. Great. So when these thoughts and feelings come in, who do you run to? Me. Is it like a God factor? You have to pray. Definitely God. At this point in my life, it's just God. Like, it's God. Like, I just go to God, because I'm not very good at telling people how I feel. I'm not very good at running to my friends, especially now. Like, now everyone is, like, going through something, and I don't like to pile up. How do you think society perceives this act? I mean, of Oya Kalabone, she's been raped, Okoye, and say, how are you able to deal with? How do you even think society perceives this act when they happen? Especially when you were a victim, they don't see you as such. People are silly. Let me just put it that way. People are very silly. Okay. And I always say this, until you go through something like this, until you have a family member go through it, it's so easy for you to sit behind your keypad and type, what was she wearing? It's so easy, But once you experience it, or once your family member goes through it, and you know that it is not as easy as you think it is, I think society needs to do better at this part of the world. Shaming whoever has been through it, regardless of what they were wearing, regardless of what happened, who they visited, is wrong. What's wrong is wrong. And let's stop making the victims, especially when like someone doesn't come out to speak like immediately, and then people say, "What kept you so long? Why didn't you say it all this while?" People heal at different times. The guilt of just saying it, like just the fact that you might say that I am lying, just the fact that I feel like, oh, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, just the fact that I was wearing something short can actually guilt me enough to not speak out. But that does not mean that I am guilty. You know?
Right.
So society needs to do better.
Exactly. Looking at this whole situation again, there are many people who go through it each and every day. And the fact that they have the confidence to even voice it out, just like you're saying, society. What would you tell a survivor who has been able to, should I use the word overcome, or been able to cross the journey of not dying after rape? What would you tell the person?
I actually don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay, but it gets better. It gets very, very, very bad before it does. You are definitely not at fault. It was not your fault. Whoever did that to you was a horrible person. And I hope you forgive yourself. I hope you know that you are actually valued. And there are like a lot of people out there, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. Like, I feel like sometimes you think that, oh, just because you're going through right now means that's the end. There's no one who loves you. People do love you. And I pray that someday you can look back at it. I mean, there will never be a day where you can look back at it and smile, but I pray that someday you look back at your journey and say, yes, I did it. Regardless of this, I still came through and am where I am today. Suicide is not an option. Okay. If whoever did that to you is alive, kicking, whatever, why should you be the one to go? I know it's hard. Depression sets in because I was depressed for a very long time. Depression sets in. And no, this is not the regular, oh, I'm depressed. I think no, like the type where you don't want to eat anything, your curtains are drawn and everything. I know it gets there and people feel it differently, but suicide is definitely not an option and you should seek help. Definitely go to therapy. Definitely speak to people you know have your interest at heart. Speak to them, get as much help as you can. It's important. Okay. Thank you. I'm done now.
Okay. At this point, I feel so emotional in my seat right now. I can't say any other thing because she has said it all. But I would only add that don't forget the God factor in everyone being 100% because He's going to help you through it. I send a heart of love to anybody who has gone through such an incident or even is going through it now. It actually is going to get better. Until then, we hope to see you guys again on the Jenny Lifestyle Lounge. Stay tuned and stay healthy. Bye.